Eccoci qua ragazzi, si imita con questo Amnesia. Finora abbiamo capito davvero poco, se non uno che ansima nelle nostre orecchie, ma vediamo di proseguire.
This is one of the first level that we created for the game, and it was initially part of the archives level, which we will reach in a bit. Amnesia started out with a pretty different design, and when we redesigned it the maps did not fit. This caused us to split them up and scatter them out. So in the first design, after this corridor, the archives level was supposed to follow, and the room lying there now was built much later. In fact, the first designs did not have Daniel waking up with an amnesia at all, and it was actually added later on. In the first story draft, Daniel still had hidden memories, but he was unaware of this at the start of the story. However, as we redesigned things, we found the waking
Comunque
up with
ragazzi, a
amnesia
lui
thingy,
viene
although a
l'ansia a
bit
stare al buio,
cliche,
abbiamo capito
much
questo.
more fitting.
Lui ha bisogno della luce, è ufficiale.
Hi there, my name is Luis Rodero. I'm mostly the tool programmer, level scripter at times, and perhaps the main reason why the rest of the core team at Fictional Games is pretty much forced to speak English at our internal meeting, as I am the only non-Swede here. Now, what a Spaniard is doing with a bunch of Swedish guys is a whole
Si sto
different
capendo un
story when
cazzo
we
ragazzi,
discuss it today.
ufficiale.
By the way, I will be talking mostly about tools and scripting.
Attenzione che abbiamo una
Goodbye.
torcia, torcia, quella lanterna. Naturalmente finirà la lanterna. Questo è poco ma sicuro. Non penso che vada all'infinito. Dai. Seguiamo. Qualcos'altro c'era. Per un altro audio.
The editors themselves went through a lot of design changes during the development. Not that many in visual appeal as in internal stuff, like data structures and handling. This happened mostly because at the beginning we only knew the basic stuff that needed to be in them, and as they grew in features and functionality, they started to kind of fall apart, mostly due to my big lack of previous experience in projects like this. Right now, aloud, what the hell still sounds in my head when I look at some parts of the code, but I am still proud of them. They can also get a bit buggy at times, but hopefully this won't happen again in the future. And I already got some nice ideas for the next iteration of the tool.
Non vedo torcia, che cazzo sta succedendo? Cazzo è il terremoto? Porca di quella troia. Cazzo è sta roba? Oh. Mm. Questo? Cazzo? Olio.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Ma è stato molto morbido lui,
I think we can all feel the story kick-starting as we finish the letter from Daniel. The game itself is just filled with confusion, and I think we're really doing the player a service keeping it simple in the beginning.
Allora, lì intanto c'è
Basically,
una
try to take
leva.
your revenge on Alexander. That is the premise of the game. You don't really need to dive any deeper than that, but hoping that the player will care about the story, they have the entire game in front of them to decide if they think killing Alexander is justified or not.
Cazzo. Scarafaggi non mancano. Ci sono scarafaggi. Ecco. Finita la torcia. Come immaginavo. Porca puttana troia. Porca puttana troia. Siamo senza luce adesso.
Hello, my name is Mark Nikander. I'm a 3D artist and level creator at Fictional Games. I started out as a helper during Penumbra Overture, and I was finally hired as a full-time artist in the later part of Penumbra Black Plague.
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brandenburg.
Ma che cazzo di casino, ragazzi. Molto bene. Olio e fiammiferino. Se devi tirare in testa di scarafone, no. Faccio un'altra boccia di olio. Passa. Prima di uscire di qua andiamo a vedere cos'altro c'è però, Cazzo. Bene. Potete vedere, ragazzi,
If you haven't followed our
un titolo
development
che
blog,
richiede
Backwards
molta
Stuff, you
calma.
might have missed one of the biggest changes in our production pipeline. 2 years back, we started a toolset side project to ease and speed up the creation of content for the game. I'd say
Pensavo
the
neanche
level
fosse una
editor,
porta,
which is
pensa
what
te.
we, or more specifically James, Mark and Marcus, have used to build all the halls and
Quanto
corridors you are
cazzo
working through
parlano
right
questi?
now.
Oh mamma
Is to
mia,
make
che
start an
palle.
impact. Its workings in a nutshell, while all the models and assets are actually made in software like Maya or Blender, everything geometry-wise in the levels is put together in it. Then lighting.
Qua siamo negli archivi in teoria.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach.
Cazzo. Cazzo. Tutto vuoto. Praticamente questa stanza non è servita a niente. Non so. Boh. Lasciamo venuti da là. Ok, e qua c'è un'altra porta. E che cazzo di labirinto però, signori, oh mamma mia. Foglio.
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the fourth. I was trapped.
Oh, qua c'è un bagaglino che ci serve. Che cazzo. Solo libri. Oh cazzo. Stacchi il volume. Comunque ufficiale, ci stanno seguendo alla grande proprio. Il piano che suona. Questa stanza non serve a un cazzo. Io mi sto perdendo mentalmente. Cazzo, bisogna andare qua. Cazzo. Oh, è bloccata. Oh porco disco. Cos'è stato? Attenzione dell'olio. Sono a cazzo. Facciamo un cazzo. E qua non ce ne facciamo un cazzo. Molto bene. Mio Dio. Ma non può essere rotta con le mani, attenzione. Forse con questo? No. Ah no. Eccoci.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
No. Non ce la può fare. Cartine, questa è la stanza delle cartine. Oh cazzo.
17th May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a
Sta malissimo lui comunque.
shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety. Grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Questo sembra che comunque si fuma dell'oppio o qualcosa. Niente, qua è correlato tutto.
When I started writing, I had only outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document, so I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3 or so. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story, but to stay true to the stuff I've written for the first levels. Usually you can go back and forth while writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way, and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about. I really like how this thickens the story elements, as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
Non riesco a capire, ragazzi.